where's the other hand? Inverted commas, insurance. And let me say this, I've stopped selling. I've stopped selling because it's another con. It's another eBay con. And I know because I've had 2 coins go missing. 2 coins go missing. And what's the other thing? I can't think what the other thing was. It's hard to give a refund. It's hard to give a refund. What eBay's trying to do is to stop sellers putting, because everything is based on the price of the item, and more so with coins. I'm still in the mindset of the old eBay. Whereby the eBay used to have a 10p listing fee and a percentage selling fee. The selling fee was adjustable, so the more money you got, the more money the final value fee, which was done on a percentage scheme. Well, I used to, when a lot of people, actually I told a lot of people about this, because it's just a twit that I am. Just insert your costs into that figure. You know, if you're a business person, and this is how this all came about, because I was going to open up my own business, and that was in the days I had my mental faculties. That's how I did it. Just as eBay do it, that's what I did. But my costs that I inserted were the true. They didn't alter. My cost didn't alter. It's only eBay's final value that altered. You're perceived to be the criminal, if you like, the deceitful one, but it's not. As long as you declare, because this is how you got to see it. As long as you declare that you're putting a shipping and oh jeez, no, my head's gone blank. What is it? Something and shipping, handling and shipping and handling. Because this is how it was. You've got to buy envelopes. You've got to buy printer cartridges. You've got to buy invoice to print all this stuff out. And they want you to do it for nothing. They expect you to do it for nothing. And then this is when the eBay scam came to part. It fell apart. And I used to do Diana collectibles. I used to collect. In my time, I've collected so much Diana stuff. It's unreal, and I've only just recently given it to the church to let them make money on their charitable. In the summer, they have a charitable thing where the people of the church put forward items for them to be sold. What do they call those fairs? They call them something fairs, don't they? And no, I'm not even going to tell you because you won't believe it. But anyway, yeah, I gave them a load of plates. a load of coins, silver coins as well, and they probably didn't even ask a fraction of what those coins were worth. And it's just how gullible I was when I took up religion. It's a funny way of talking, I know, but yeah, I thought help the church out. Anyway, yeah, shipping and handling, because not only that, if you live out in the sticks, you've got your cost to drive into town, post these things, if you didn't have a post office in your little village. So you've got all these costs, and when you're selling things for peanuts, because when eBay was started, I was, well, I've got things in this house that I could show you that I paid peanuts for, and now they're really worth a lot of money. But I used to deal with America a heck of a lot with coins, and then what killed that? The post office putting up their prices. Again, it jumped. They changed it from like standard no nonsense price, and then they started including all these other things. Exactly the same scam that all the other companies do. They all do it. And but I used to get tons of coins from America, dirt cheap, absolutely brilliant. But then you see, you got to look at it the other way. When my first item that I sold on eBay was my childhood stamp collection, and you know where that went? China. Yeah, China. I couldn't believe it. And you know the amount of aggro that you go through, because you was thrust into airmail, blah blah blah. And it was a quick learning curve because you had to adapt. Because I never thought about it, that shipping that album. It wasn't a big one, don't get me wrong, it wasn't a big thick one. It was a fairly small one, but it was full of stamps. Because my father had his own little business, used to run in line with his job. And I can remember when I was a kid, we used to go up to Heathrow Airport, and I loved it because you could watch all the planes taking off and landing and that. I used to find it fascinating. And yeah, because my father then would take all his stuff, parcels, to be shipped away. But I never had the inclination in as a child to ask him what it was all about, which I should have done really, because it would have really helped me in my initiation in eBay. Not forgetting that eBay started 1994, I think it was, and they keep saying to me that I joined in 01. I don't believe. I must have had a different name. Because well, no, I'm going to that. But I did have two names. And then one I changed to buying, and one I changed to selling. So if you were selling, that was you and your dedicated feedback and all the rest of it. And that's what I prided myself in. The other one, it went, because as soon as I stopped dealing with America because of the postal, I had no need for it. I had no need for that, and I don't know what happened to it. I don't even know if it's still running. I don't think it is, because eBay did a thing. Must have been in the 2000s, obviously, they went through clearing out all their accounts that weren't used. Same thing as what Google did with the emails. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. It was Google. Um, all these people having all these different email accounts, because I used to do that as well. I had an email account for every person that I knew, because if you copped a virus, you could tell who it came from, and then you could warn them straight away that they've been infected. I think it was Trojans. And if you do it quickly enough, you can stop the damage, because it attacks what it used to do. It used to attack your address book in your in whatever site you was using, like Yahoo or whatever email site you was using. That's what it did. It attacked your. Do you remember the funnies used to get? I've got some on YouTube. I've got some funnies, and they carried. You had those ones where if you pass this on, you're going to win. So forth. The amount of people that did that was unreal, and there's a name for it, and I can't remember what it is. But that was a dead cert way of copping a virus. Trojan was doing these chain letters, but it wasn't chain letters, it was chain emails. And like I say, people did this religiously, thinking that it was gonna help you. But yeah. Oh, excuse me. Of course, about most I've talked for ages. I can't remember the last time I talked this much, and I know it's an hour and 38 minutes. But yeah, it was a learning curve, and I've got to say, it's only up until recently that I've let all that go, because trying to keep account of your passwords and certain things like banks, I think it's every 2 years with banks, you can't sign in with your old password. You have to create a new one. And again, all these other institutions did the same. I think emails was the only thing that was excluded. They didn't do it with that. But if you had an account with something online, that's what would happen. Every so often they would make you renew your password. And that's when it really started getting, for me, it started getting too complicated, because you'd have to write all this stuff down. So you can imagine what your address book looked like, the hard copy, not the online copy, the hard copy, what it was like. Yeah. God, that's the history I've just told you about there, isn't it? But anyway, back to this. Yeah. So, Royal Mint, if you get to hear about this, do the honourable thing with your website, and instead of just that, which you can't do anything with, not only should you do another picture here of the obverse, you should also do an inscription, what it looks like. That's if you was honest. That's if you was honest. That's what you would do on a website. But they don't. They don't. But that is a sure tell sign that if you could blow that up, that image would be just like that. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. I failed. I failed to prove it to you. It's only sites like this whereby you can do that. And I know this guy hasn't, but that's not his fault. Trying to find a real image and to get it in clarity like this is really hard. Because like you're using a white background. And look at all these dents. Things and dents around it. There's two there. But at least that's an honest portrayal. And all this stuff about well, I suppose it is true. You've got the weight, the size. Let's see what you've got. So it is this image, isn't it? Nope. There you go. Look, you've got the list. You've got the list here. Okay. Effigy. Face value £2. Circulation million. So this this 1999 technology had a mintage figure of 33,719,000. Total mintage. Oh, it's the same. Circulation mint. Oh yeah, right. Okay, yeah, because there was none done for other sets. I would. No, that can't be right. That can't be right. Your circulating mintage can't be the same as total mintage. Yeah, that's not right. So hang on a minute. What's this? The 1999. 1999. It's the same. 33,719. So how can your circulation mintage be the same as total mintage if you've got proof sets? Let's have a scroll down here, because he then gives uh 1999. Come on, scroll down. There you go, 1999. So where's the... It says Spink, that's right. Coins of England. Where's the proof sets? Is that what they used to do? Is this figure the total? Because I'm sure somewhere... Yeah, look at these mintages here. Commonwealth Games. Oh, right, yeah, I know what these are. They are... Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Where are you? Oh, come on, where are you? They're hiding. like that flipping. Is that one? Yeah. Like this one. I can't show you it, but there's three. There's three. See those three things there at the top? They are different images. Oh, hang on a minute. I've got to make sure that I've got this right. I don't want to be telling you. Yeah, the three images. You've got the top one is the it's not the Union Jack. You've got a castle on the right one. The middle one is a flag, and I can't really make out what that is. And there was four of them. There was four of them for England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. And so there was four types of this coin. I only had two. I don't know where the other one is, but it's probably hiding somewhere around here. I've got them floating around all over the place. Yeah, there was four of them. And unknowingly me, who half-heartedly collected these coins from change, I didn't care what. I used to try and get them as best as I possibly could. But the thing with the Southeast is, there's the other problem we have with the Royal Mint. The Royal Mint's in Wales. The Royal Mint has a workforce. The Royal Mint would be first to get those coin sets. And if you could get hold of those coin sets straight away from the Royal Mint, you can make a pretty penny. And as I've said before, with most certainly, without a shred of a doubt, King Charles III, King Charles III, we never saw the notes till way after they were introduced. It took ages for them to come to the Southeast. And of course, with notes, you're looking for the numbers, the serial numbers. That's what you're looking for with the notes. It's not what's on the note, it's the numbers, the serial numbers. So if you got the real early serial numbers, you could plug them on eBay for lots and lots of money, because people do it for not only collecting, but they do it for birthdays and things. They're looking for certain dates, or they're looking for certain dates within the serial number. That's what a lot of people do, and they'll pay a real premium for that. And this is what I'm trying to say to you about what is a fake error coin. What's that worth? It's worth whatever the person who's going to buy it is going to pay. But because collecting coins has got to such a state of, especially the technology coins, I think people got bored of it. I can't remember how many years they did the technology coins to. Well, it must be 15. 1997 to 2015, if I've got that right. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just go and check that little fact. Right, 1997, 1999, 2000, 2001. This is the other one. You get the So that was what? That's 2002. You had 4 to collect. Well, unknowingly to me, by the time I realised it, I only had 2. 2 of each. The same as... Oh, where's it gone? Where's that one I've just showed you? Anyway, let's stick to the technology coins. It should be 2015. Last one. 2008, 2009, 2013, 14, 15, and whoosh, it changes. There's your Britannia. So 1997 to 2015 is 18 years. I think that's got to be the longest running coin. And the exact same thing, guys. The exact same thing. I know this is a long video, but you have to bear with me. I told you where the errors would be. The same as I told you with... What did I tell you with... Oh, yeah, Prince Charles, King Charles III, where I told you, I've shown you there, I've shown you the Britannias, and I bought the, to prove my point, I bought, where is it? Where was the 650? I bought those online to prove my point and show you. You'd have to look through my old videos. I didn't mind buying those because they was low mintage, and just the same as I did with these Rio £2 to prove my point. I showed you where the errors would be, and I've proved that. Well, like I say, I'm not doing it anymore because I'm sort of really, I can't see me coming back to eBay this time. They've really crucified me. You know, you're paying five, anything condition wise, you're paying 5 to, I don't know, the world's oyster, really, up to about £12-15. But one of these, I got to be careful. One of them is not a legal tender coin. It was issued as a commemorative and put into circulation, but it's not actually a legal tender coin. It's called something else. There's a fellow on YouTube that does this. He goes into shops and pays with coins that are a legal tender. And the trouble he has sometimes, it's quite amusing to watch. It is amusing. And that's exactly what happens with one of these coins. It's NC, not legal tender. So NL, so not legal. So it's NLT. But I think it's different. It's pronounced a different way. And I can't tell you where I got that figure from. It wasn't the Britannias. It must have been this Great Fire of London. No, because there's 1,006. It might be, actually. It might be, because although that's not a low figure, like these. Yeah, it was probably this one. First World War Navy 5th portrait. Oh, that's of course that's the rear, the obverse side. It must be that one that's not legal tender. So if you're buying that online from a broken up set or whatever, it's not a legal tender coin. You're buying it for the novelty. It's hard to explain that to a collector. It's a collector's item. It's not a it's a collector's item only, that coin. So that coin, like the magnetar, all those three coins. Hang on, I've got to be a bit careful here. Without actually seeing the obverse side myself properly, I'd have to go through opening up more of these windows, and I'm not doing that. I'm sure it's that one. And I learnt that completely by error. Because I've got to say, this is how naive I am. I didn't know that. So you've got a low mintage circulated coin, and then you've got a low mintage commemorative coin, and that's still fairly low as well. But you'd have to go to the coin club and get those figures. So it's like all these flipping the Great Fire of London, which, remember, what makes a coin worth what it is if you've got an error. Because if you're talking in terms of a collector, admittedly that's 1,625,000. That's quite still a sum of coins. The chances are of you getting one like mine, which you would have to look through my list online, of the despicable truth about the inscriptions around the edge, and mine is so diabolical you can't make it up. So, and as I proved with that Great Fire of London, because I've brought the coins to prove the point, there's two of them, and I've paid a fair